Hongwei Zhang from Iowa State again. So I have two technical questions. One relates to the earlier discussion about open run innovation, right? So we talked about the risks, potential real-time risks, but in terms of software solution, one core piece is actually DU, right? So, and there are some new capabilities that are needed to drive some of the ultra low latency communications. Just wonder if some tasks focus on DU, software DU innovation to support those new features that's needed in vertical industries, such as teleoperation of drones. Would that still be fitting the scope?
Yeah, it would.
Okay. So the second question relates to the pilot, right? So I think the RFP mentioned the pilot should demonstrate the I forget the exact term, but the market readiness or something. So I guess my question there is the following. For example, taking private network as an example, depending on the specific use cases, the scale of the network could be different. Running, the kind of technical capability that's needed to support certain function, single cell or a network of two cells is different from a large scale network, right? Now this comes back to the market readiness. In terms of evaluation, as we look at the solutions we want to pilot or innovate as part of the project, do we have to, let's say if we take ag as an example, is it okay to say, this set of solutions features tested would be able to address the needs of a specific market segment, or we have to take care of the whole ag industry, because they are quite different. Would be the former be good enough?
Yeah. So this question's come up as long as I can remember, not just for agriculture, right, but just in the big macro networks in general. I think the way we would evaluate that, right, is we would ask simple questions, right? So something similar to, okay, it's an outdoor application. Is the environment you're going to do your field tests in outdoor? Yes. Okay. Your solution's going to involve handoffs from one cell tower to another, right? Or from one radio to the next, right? So does your prototype operate in an environment that can demonstrate handoffs, right? Those are the types of things that we would look at. Now, would we say, this doesn't count, doctor, until you show us that this can work across 20,000 sites in 5 states within the United States? No, we wouldn't have those types of requirements.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for the session. My name is Kalyan Sundar. I'm from Keysight, and I've been attending all the NOFO sessions, rain or shine or snow. Questions on Surfer One. I know this was asked in a couple of different ways, but I'll ask again. So you're talking about exit criteria is demonstration of a prototype in a field environment. So that necessitates, it doesn't have to be a public operator. It could be a private network. It could be licensed, unlicensed. You mentioned that, but it is not a lab setup. It needs to be running in a field environment as exit criteria, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Okay, good. Thank you for clarifying that. Second one, you're saying you must develop a multi-vendor prototype. You can have a single vendor ORAN these days, as long as they meet the ORAN specifications. Is that a criteria to have multi-vendor for Surfer One?
Yes.
So you must have a different RU vendor work with a different DUC vendor. Surfer One.
Not for Surfer One.
It says multi-vendor prototype.
You have to demonstrate that the prototype can function across multiple vendors for SRFA1. Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm still not sure. So you must bring in multiple vendors, even though because the main criteria there is a vendor, vertical, and a network function, right? So not clear where the multi-vendor comes from. If you mean multi-vendor is a vertical integrating with a different function, a software function which is provided by a vendor, where does the multi-vendor come in there?
Do you want to address that? Yeah, I mean, look at the spirit of what we're trying to do here, right? We're not trying to create single vendor solutions, right? We are trying to establish an ecosystem here, right? Where multiple different vendors, right, that make multiple different network elements and all of the software that ties it all together works together, right? And has the ability to integrate and operate together. So, I certainly can't speak to, the legalistic interpretation of what you're talking about there, but I would tell you that doesn't sound like it's in the spirit of what we're trying to do, right? If you just roll a single vendor solution in there and say, here's our single vendor solution. Oh, but it's open really. And therefore it does these things. I would tell you that doesn't really line up.
Okay. Thank you. Last question from me. So 7 merit points for the, I don't know what exactly it's called.
The commitment to U.S. economic security.
So 7 out of 100?
7 out of 100. I think that's correct.
Okay. And if that criteria is not met, so that's 0 points or whatever. So it's scaling based on how far you can go with.
Yeah, depending on how, each application is evaluated by 3 different merit reviewers. And so each reviewer is going to evaluate based on their judgment how well or how great of a commitment to U.S. economic security they think a particular application has. And it will scale from 0 to 7 points when they're evaluating that specific criterion. Yep.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.